From hearing your story, it made me really start to think about that issue of gaslighting or racial gaslighting. But basically, for folks who are not aware, which I was unaware, number one, gaslighting itself is making someone question their own reality, and it's a way to control someone's reactions through microaggressions, through saying, oh, hey, you're being overly sensitive, or you're playing the race card.
If somebody is open enough, somebody of color especially, is open enough to tell you about their daily interactions and just daily life, you need to stop gaslighting and listen. And whether it's something you truly believe or not, you need to believe that they feel that. It's one of those things where I know what I go through on a daily basis. I know what I deal with every single day. But when you guys tell me I'm tripping, or if you guys tell me I'm crazy, I start to feel crazy. And I start to neglect my actual thoughts, right? Which is essentially the definition of gaslighting.
And when you're not accepting their stated reality, you're causing them to have to. You're putting them in a state of almost mental abuse in a way. It's hey, saying that your reality doesn't exist. You're saying that you're wrong. Now you have to question yourself.
Right. Once you get to the point where you're open to hearing somebody else's point of view and stop assuming that you know it all. Stop assuming that you know exactly what it's going through. Stop assuming that because you don't see people getting sprayed with fire hydrants and having to sit at the back of the bus anymore, racism is completely over, right? It's not the case at all. And once you've got to that point, the next step is being an advocate, right? And especially an advocate in those, what we call safe spaces. We need to eliminate those. I think we talked about this last time. I'm around a lot of white folks in my industry. I'm a lot of white folks with what I do on a regular basis. And am I an advocate? Heck yeah, I am. At the end of the day, they expect, right? Because of who I am, they expect, and because of who I am, they're on their best behavior. But when they go back to a safe space, which I could never be a part of a safe space because I'm black, right? At the end of the day, I always say that I can never be in a room full of 100% white folks as long as I'm in the room. I'll still be that speck of black in that room, and people will have to be on the best behavior to wear.
Right.
But I can only say so much in those rooms. Matt, you can be in a room with 10 white people and be 10 for 10, 100%. And when you hear some sort of just injustice or racism or microaggressions being said, and you're the person checking them rather than me, that's going to hit different because people are going to start to realize that they aren't safe spaces where they can talk however they want or do things they shouldn't. If you eliminate thought of it, if you eliminate the conversation, you start to eliminate the action. Not only will people be able to say those things and repeat them, they'll just stop imitating and mimicking.
White folks out there watching the video, please, if a black person is kind enough to tell you about their experience, listen to them, respect what they're saying, and acknowledge what they're saying. You don't have to second guess it, saying that they're wrong or that they're overly sensitive or that they're seeing it through their lens. Their lens is their reality. So number one, don't do it. And number two, when you're in those safe spaces, like you said, this is your real opportunity to step up and put your allyship on the line and stand up for what you believe in. If you're serious about allyship and what you can really do to fight against racism. Hey, step outside of your comfort zone, say something next time you hear somebody talking in your white safe space, about that black issue, about that thing you saw on TV, that, going back to those common tropes. This is how we can actually, I think, make a positive difference on a micro level that, only has waves that will reverberate out.
No, 100%, man. You said that on point. I couldn't have said that better. It's one of those things where not only do you have to listen, but after listening, you got to do. Because, again, we talk about anti-racism versus just not being racist. Not being racist is cool, but that voice isn't heard.